Hi, I'm Richard Colman. I went to the Geelong College and I finished in 2003. I'm a wheelchair track athlete and I focus on the distance wheelchair marathons, 800 and above. So one of my favourite events is the 800 metres. I've had some great success over the 800 metres over my journey. Highlights include two-time Paralympic champion over the 800 metres. I've got so many fond memories of school sport, and I think some of them just getting involved in any sport I could possibly do. But it takes me back to the beginning of my career, and the school teachers were the ones who just got me involved in every opportunity possible. And we're like, well, yeah, we'll modify it. We'll just see what we can do. And some of the things were a bit sketchy, and we had a go. But yeah, all the kids were all inclusive and had to include me in where we could. We modified the activities and some of the kicking to be more handball or focus on catching and throwing. But my biggest memory of school sport was back in year 3, I think it was, doing school athletics day for the very first time and getting involved in every event possible. And as the attitude was, do as much as possible. And I was just treated as another year 3 boy. And so every event that year 3 boys did, I did it. And that day we did long jump. And I remember pushing down the long jump pit, trying to break at the line and jump out of my wheelchair and into the sand pit. And yeah, that was quite of an interesting period now. And I remember legs going everywhere, the arms and sand going everywhere, and the chair was flying. And everyone's like, wow. Even to this day, the teachers are like, why? They were scared. And they're like, why did you do it? And I was like, all the boys are doing it. I had to go. So and unfortunately, I didn't win that event, but that started my love for athletics, and that's where my journey started all the way back in year 3. I think the most influential teachers were the ones who had the activities pre-planned and knew that I was in that class, and the ones who had the session inclusive. They weren't just like, oh, Rich, you can just do throwing on the side, or oh, sorry, I don't know what to do for you today. Let's just see. The ones who made the biggest impact for me were the ones who made the session all inclusive, and it wasn't just kicking. The ones who had activities or just kicking activities or activities that I couldn't do were the ones that I was like, this is not enjoyable, or it's not fun for me. I can't do any of this. What's the point? The teachers who made it inclusive and got all students, no matter their abilities, and it wasn't just tailored to the elite AFL players or the kids who were the freak show kids, because every class has got those. It's about tailoring it to the good, the middle, and the developing athletes. And that's what we need to remember. And that's the teachers that made the biggest impact on me, were the ones who came in, had the activities, and went, right, this is what we all are doing, and let's do it. I think it goes back all the way to that story of being involved in the school athletics days, getting involved, and the teachers were just, Rich, you're doing it. And we're like, all right, how do we do it? Don't know. Let's have a go. So as we said, I got involved in athletics through the school athletics days and just trying everything and doing the long jump, even doing the high jump during the days, and pushing up to the high jump bar and trying to jump out over my chair, over the bar, and get my legs out of the chair and up over the bar and land on the pit, on the mat, so, which is interesting as a wheelchair user. So, yeah, didn't bunny hop or didn't do anything like that. And I managed to try and get out of my chair. So that was an interesting thing. And the teachers were like, yeah, let's do it. Let's have a go. The bar wasn't that high, but it was about getting involved and doing it rather than how high or what's possible. It was more about, yes, you're included and you're the kid. Yes, I didn't get the most points or anything like that. And that wasn't the point of the activity. It was about having a go and not being excluded and sitting on the side and going, well, you're in a wheelchair, you can't do that. So you're not going to do it. You're just going to sit and watch. It was about, yeah, all right, let's try it. And that's one of the things I truly push now for all the kids no matter age or ability, or if you're able-bodied or have a disability, don't give up and go, well, I can't do it. I'll just sit and watch, or why should I do it? I can't do it, or I can't do triple jump, so I'm not going to do it. Well, have a go. Yes, you may not win, but that's not always the point of doing an activity. It's about having a go, pushing and seeing what you can do and seeing how far you can push yourself. Yeah, over my career, I've had quite a few senior people that have been super influential on my career and being the ones who have changed it, and being ones where, all right, let's do it. Going back to my very first team back in 1996, I made the Pacific School Games as a little 12-year-old, and I had the opportunity to be selected on that team. It was my very first team representing Victoria, and it was a huge opportunity for the state managers to select me as a kid, and they're the ones who went, yeah, we gave this kid a go, and that's the ones who I still know. Like, I'm still very grateful, and I'm very I still see these guys and some of the coaches now, all these years, 25 years later, I'm still catching up with them. And if they ever ask me to do anything, I'm like, yep, no worries. I always say yes before they even ask me what it is, no matter how crazy their request is or what they may want me to do. I'm always like, yeah, no worries. We'll make it do. Look, I'll do anything. And they're the people who have the biggest influence on me, and who I always appreciate all the work they've done. And because they changed my life. They gave me the opportunity to start really get involved in sport and then have the impact. And I was treated as an athlete. I was on an able-bodied team, treated as an athlete. And I wasn't one of the disabled people. I was an athlete. And that was the beginning of, right, I can do this. I am okay. I can push. I'm a pretty good athlete. Right. I enjoy this, and I'm treated equally. And that's where beginning in the love for wheelchair racing and the 800 metres started. And I really appreciate School Sport Victoria for that opportunity. And that's why I've come back onto School Sport Victoria teams as the multi-class coach and ambassador all these years later, because that's where my journey began. And I'm hoping to get as many kids involved in athletics and sport to allow them to achieve their success, no matter what that may be. Yes, some may go on to be Paralympic champions, others may be great athletes, and others may go on to do other things. But it's about creating success in life and achieving what they want and creating the skills to achieve success in life. And that's what we're trying to develop. Yeah, a lot of athletes are very superstitious. Some have to have the same underwear on and other things like that. Some of the wheelchair guys have superstitions, and wheelchair racing, we often don't want to go near a guy or an athlete who's got a brand new race chair. It's often bad luck, because if you go near them, they'll crash and they'll take you out. And I've seen it quite a few times. So no matter what, you always stay away from the person with a brand new, spanking clean race chair. I have a superstition that I never clean my race chair straight before a race. I'll clean it a little while before. If I clean it just before it, it's bad luck and I'll crash or have something go wrong. So that's, and I know it's a strange one, but it's a superstition that you never clean a chair going into a race. Yes, you want a nice chair looking good, but things have gone wrong quite often when I've given it a clean and had it looking perfect. So I often try and stay away, and everyone goes, your chair's not clean. I went, that's okay. I'm comfortable with that, and I know that nothing will go wrong today. Yeah, there's a lot of advice I would give to athletes and kids now, this day and age, and not just people with disability and multi-class athletes. And it's about just having a go, and you never know where anything in life will take you. And I never knew as a year 3, year 4, year 5, where athletics or sport or where my life would take me. And having the opportunity to get involved in sport, it's allowed me to be an athlete for 25 years, to win 2 Paralympic gold medals, travel the world and be a full-time athlete for so long, but also travel the world to 60 countries and experienced so many amazing things that I would never have done if I wasn't a person with a disability who got involved in sport and had that skill set that I developed out of being an athlete, that I was able to transition into other areas of my life. And I transition now into business and in work. And I'm taking that elite mindset into everything I do. And it's about pushing the boundaries of what's possible. And it's about pushing your own goals and believing in anything is possible and going, right, I'm going to do this. No one can say anything else. And if anyone says you can't do it, then you go, right, I'm going to prove it possible. And that's all the way through school. If anyone said, right, you're going to do it, I was like, right, I'm going to prove you wrong and I'll do it and I'll achieve my success because I believe it's possible. Yes, some things are hard. Yes, there's challenges along the way. But if you truly believe in it, you can achieve anything, no matter how hard things may be. The only thing that's stopping you is you and your own belief and also your own actions. You've got to actually take action to start the journey to achieving success. You can't just say, I want to be successful. It's about, right, what are the 3 things I'm going to do to achieve it? How am I going to achieve success? Right. And then start the journey to achieving success. Start that first action and actually getting out there and doing something about being successful, no matter what it is in life you want to do. And it can be something simple, today's goals, tomorrow, next week's goals. Being successful in life and business, and it doesn't have to be in sport. It can be in anything. And you can just be successful if you take action. Doesn't matter what anyone else says to you. It's about what you believe.